Today we're going to take a look at how to bring a typical financial spreadsheet into PowerMetrics from Google Drive. We're going to start by clicking either on this icon here or the button in the top right-hand corner. This allows us to go ahead and select our data, which in our case is going to be coming from Google Drive. I've already authenticated, which is something you may have to do with Google if you haven't already. And this then allows us to search and choose the file that we want to link to PowerMetrics for our data source. You can see here that this looks like a typical financial spreadsheet. We've got our accounts down the left-hand side and our dates along the top. Now we have to transpose this so that the dates are running up and down and the accounts are all listed in separate columns, just like that. We've used that toggle to do that. And we also want to select the right header so that we can format this data and understand what the columns are. So now we're entering into the data feed editor where we can further clean up this file. So the first thing I've noticed is that we don't have a column header for this month column here. So we're going to add that in. We can always reformat if your dates are coming in a different format. And we're also going to go ahead and we're going to remove some of the blank columns as we're doing here. Now, once we've done that, what we're really interested in is licensing and services. And we want to use licensing and services as actually categories. So we need to unpivot this so that we have a column of our accounts. So we're going to select all and unselect month. So in other words, we're unpivoting everything except for that month column. And you can see how it's now formatted all of the accounts in a single column. We're actually going to give that a column name, account. And then we have our values in the last column. And let's format that as currency as well. Okay, so now we only want licensing and services. We don't want COGS or expenses or marketing, etc. So we're going to use the built-in filter command to remove anything that isn't equal to either licensing. Use the match any format here and equals services. And you can see that we now have a very clean data sheet that only includes licensing and services across all the months that we have data for. Let's change this to every 4 hours for our refresh. And we can now go ahead and save this data feed and go on to build a metric. So from the saved data feed page, we can then go ahead and build our metric, our revenue metric. So from this live preview, you'll be able to select the measure that you want to aggregate. In this case, we will choose the values. And then let's just open up this date range a little bit so that we have some data that we can play with as we're building this. We're going to segment this by account. That's going to be our dimensional value. And you can see as I've switched that, we have both licensing and services revenue coming through. And if we check out the other tabs here, we can add in the title as well as a description for our metric so that other folks know exactly what's meant by this metric. And then we're going to double check the other settings as well, just to make sure that everything is set properly. And then we can save this metric, share it with our colleagues, and there you have it, a financial spreadsheet brought in to build a beautiful revenue metric.